Good morning and welcome to Corona Fits. Beautiful Friday in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. But then you too are at the center of the world. So the title of today's fit is the fallacy of, the fallacy of the misplaced freedom. Excuse me, Corona. So a whole lot of what's going on with Corona is we've lost our freedom. The freedom of movement, the freedom to go to work, the freedom to go visit, entertainment. All of these are things we took for granted. We just took it for granted that we could go to a movie, go to church, go to a party. Took for granted. Never questioned it. Never imagined a world where you couldn't do that. So Corona came and stopped it. Curtailed, or put us in prison, house arrest, stay home, house arrest. It's almost like we have, somebody who's been, Cohen, he's on house arrest, or you can't go out. You got ankle bracelets. If you go out, they'll punish you. So it's house arrest, and that brings into question our assumptions about freedom. Questions our assumptions, our basic assumptions about freedom of movement. And that's good. We should question our assumptions about freedom. So the fallacy of the misplaced freedom is everything for me ends up with Buddha and the Four Noble Truths. It seems like that's the hub and all the spokes of experience, everything that's going on, everything on Facebook, everything on the news, in our environment, everything that's happening for me metaphorically points to that hub, that axis of the Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism are basically, there is suffering, right? That's the first one. So if you're uncomfortable, if you're dissatisfied, if you're feeling the constraint, if you're feeling the pinch of Corona, that's suffering. There it is. I feel constrained. I'm going stir crazy. I'm going bananas. I'm going into depression. There's suffering. There it is. Now the second noble truth is there is a cause. Now the fallacy, remember, cause means effect. Cause and effect. Effect, this causes it. Boom. Oh, the effect, I hurt. What's the cause? This hand. Hand slaps this. Cause, effect, I hurt. So I hurt is caused. And we believe we are conditioned, like a fish is conditioned by the fish bowl, that we live in a material world, and material, is governed by the laws of cause and effect. Whatever happens, there's a cause. If you don't like what happened, get rid of the cause. Works for machines. If you're a mechanic, the car won't start. It's not magic. It's not personal. You're a computer the computer won't work. It's not personal. The computer doesn't hate you. God didn't come in and make the computer stop. You see, there's a cause. We just know that. And we will keep looking until we find it. Because we know if we find the cause, we fix the effect. We change the effect. Well, Buddhism is very scientific like this. It says there's suffering. Okay, there's an effect. You suffer. But the jump start reaction is that Corona caused it. And then, well, what caused Corona? The Chinese caused Corona. It's a lab in Wuhan caused it. And then who caused that? Some conspiracy. And who caused that conspiracy? Well, that's going all the way back. There's no end to it until you find the first cause. Well, the devil did it. The first cause of evil. Then who caused the devil? There's no end to it. Who caused the cause? There's no end to it, you see. That's the fallacy of the cause and effect. So the Buddha says there is suffering. The corona caused it, yeah. So, what do we got to get rid of corona. Oh, we got to get a vaccine. Okay, that's the cure. You get rid of you prevent the corona by staying home, and then you get a vaccine that stops the corona from happening. But that's external. That's objective. That's the law of the material world. And the conditioning of our culture is that that's the only world. Everything is a thing. Everything is matter. You are just the product of your brain, your genes. You're just the effect of your brain. A machine. An organ that works under the laws of cause and effect. So you are determined, you see. But something doesn't work. Wait a minute. I can see the logic of that. Everything is caused. If everything is caused, nothing is free. It's caused, you see. It's determined. You're determined by your past. You're caused by your parents, your culture, your past mistakes, your good choices. All of these things cause you. You stump your toe. That causes pain. You don't look. You get hit by a truck. Everything has a cause, you see. And so we kind of like live in that world, but yet at the same time, we hurt. And we can't remove the hurt because we're looking for the cause in the wrong place. When it comes to my hurt, now if it's your hurt, or somebody else there is hurting, I can find the cause. Somebody in your family is hurt. Well, I know. Well, you didn't do what I told you to do, so now you hurt. You see, we can find the cause, but when it comes to my hurt, what's the cause? What's the cause of my hurt, you see? My hurt. I hurt. My reaction is, well, who did it? What caused it? If I remove that, I don't hurt. But it doesn't work that way, you see. Not when it comes to my hurt. So that's where Buddhism comes in. Buddha wanted to know, why do I hurt? Not why do you hurt? Why does mankind hurt? Why do people hurt? Why does species hurt? Why objective, you see, that in the material world, the objective world, you can find causes of hurts. You can't permanently remove them, because once you remove one cause, another one happens and you got some more hurt. So hurt evolves, hurt rolls, a rolling hurt, you see, a rolling stone of hurt. The Hurt Locker movie of love, you see. So Buddhism basically is an inquiry into why I hurt, not why you hurt, not why mankind hurts, but I hurt. So basically, the Buddha shift is to the subjective instead of the objective. The Buddha shift is to say, well, there is hurt. I feel constrained. I'm hurting by corona. I hurt. You may not be hurting, but I hurt, you see. What's the cause of that? Well, then I begin to look without blame. In other words, I begin to be curious. What is the cause of my hurt, you see? What is the cause of my hurt? Well, then I begin to sense that my hurting is just an unpleasant feeling. And I have this unpleasant feeling because I believe it's caused by somebody else, something else, you see. And that's my story of it. The story is corona caused it, the Chinese caused it, some lab caused it. That's not proven. But something caused it. Something's to blame. That's why I hurt, you see. So now I go to war with the cause. And if there is no way to remove the cause, now I'm in a real dilemma, you see. Now I'm in a real pickle, you see, if I cannot remove the cause and I have to hurt, you see, and there's no hope. That's despair. That's depression. That's suicide is the end of that, you see. So something's wrong with the logic. Something's wrong with where we're looking when it comes to my hurt, not when it comes to your hurt or the people's hurt. That's subjective. So the hurt is subjective. So I want to know why I hurt. But I have to be curious, like a scientist is curious. I have to look at my own operating system, the way I think. I have to notice the way I'm thinking. I have to notice the operating system of my own mind while I'm in it. Not objectively, because that's psychology. I can observe the minds of others, you see, but I'm outside of that. But Buddhism is observing your own mind while you are in it. That's meditation. I become curious about how my hurt happens. I become curious, you see. I investigate, I inquire into my hurting without blaming anything external. You see, so now that's kind of like if you take a teeter-totter and there's in a playground and you're on the teeter-totter and you're really hurting because the other guy keeps getting the best of you. You're up. I hurt. Every time you go up, I hurt. I go down, I hurt. Boom, 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 boom. As long as you're on that, there's no way off, because the only way for you to get rid of my hurt would be to eliminate the other guy, the cause. But you can't do that, you see, because the teeter-totter has it's a polarity of two ends of the same stick. You can't remove. If you cut off one end, you still have another end. It's kind of like, I got a stick this long, and this end is hurting this end. So I'm going to remove this end. Whoop, okay, now the stick is this long. Oh, I hurt again. Remove the end of the stick. Boom, now it's this long. Oh, I'm hurting again. Remove the end of the stick. Oh, now the stick is it. Boom, 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 boom. This is Zeno's arrow. There's no end to hurt, because there's no way you can remove the other end of you. You are the stick. You're both ends of the stick at the same time, but you believe and see yourself as being one end. I hurt. That is causing my hurt. Wow, 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 wow. You see, that's the evolution that's the wheel of samskara in Buddhism. That's the hamster wheel. Stop the world, I want to get off. Stop the teeter-totter, I want to get off. The only way off of the teeter-totter is to suddenly see that no matter what you do is causing hurt. And bam, you're on the park bench. And you're on the teeter-totter in your mind, but at the same time you're on the park bench as awareness, and you see the teeter-totter of your mind. You see the hurt of your mind. You see the hurt locker, you see, from the park bench. But you're still on the teeter-totter. There's no way to get off of it because it's the world. It's your mind. So when I say at the beginning of my talks, you are the center of the world, that means you are the mind of the world. The world is your mind. It's not, while it is real, external to you, at the same time, it's not external to you. You are the external is you. You are the other end of the teeter-totter, you see. So the Buddha liberation of the second noble truth, seeing the cause, is seeing that you are the cause and the effect. But you only see that from the park bench while you are on it. Not after you get off of it, not after you had the fight, not after after the drama is all over. I see what. No, you see it while you are on it. The teeter-totter becomes transparent to the park bench, you see. So that's basically. So then the third noble truth is the cessation of suffering, the cessation of the teeter-totter. The cessation of I hurt and who did it. The cessation of I hurt and who did it. But now you're still in the world, but now you're free from the hurt of the world. You're in the world, but you're free from being hurt from it at the same time. You're not out of it. You're not lost in it. You were in it, but not in it at the same time. And I think Jesus said that. Be in the world, but not of it. So then, while Corona comes and makes you stay at home, you're still okay. You're still free. You may not be able to go to the rock and roll, the concert, but you're still you. You're still okay. Your freedom does not depend upon the world being favorable to your whims and desires. Your freedom is not dependent upon the world, and then the world cannot hurt you, even though it does hurt. Paradoxical. Even though you have to stay at home and not go and do what you like doing, you're still okay, you see. You're okay with what is. So this is finding the cause. And so now, on one hand, there is cause and effect in the material world, of which you are a part. Things cause you to hurt. But at the same time, ambiguously, you are the cause of your hurt. You are, on one hand, the two hands here make one. One hand says there is cause and effect and things can cause you to hurt. And the other hand says you are the cause and the effect. You are the cause of your hurt. Therefore, if you see that, you no longer cause yourself to hurt. So otherwise, if you keep stabbing yourself with an ice pick and you see that you're doing it, you stop it. If you got a hand on a hot plate and you suddenly see it, you take it off. There's no, I think I have my hand on a hot plate. I think I'm burning. Should I take it off? Let me ask somebody. No, the seeing takes your hand off the hot plate. The seeing and the action are one. Knowing and being. Being is your hand on the hot plate, and knowing it is seeing it. That is one, you see. The cause and the effect. So that, is basically an insight into the Four Noble Truths. And then the fourth one is if you practice this meditation and mindfulness, you will activate the first three truths. You will activate seeing the suffering, the cause of suffering, and the cessation of suffering. But you have to practice in order to activate that. So anyway, that's my Corona Fit for today. Thanks for dropping in. See you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow.